Let's start this with a prayer. Dear Father, I thank you for this day and this opportunity to be used as a vessel to let your people know that you are available, able, and ready. Lord, use my voice as your voice so those who do not understand may understand. In the name of Yeshua. So I'm going to read from Malachi 2:2-7. And this is coming from the contemporary, or is it the Christian Standard Bible? It's the Christian Standard Bible. It says, therefore, this decree is for you, priest. If you don't listen and if you don't take it to heart, to honor my name, says the Lord of armies, I will send a curse among you, and I will curse your blessings. In fact, I have already begun to curse them because you are not taking it to heart. Look, I'm going to rebuke your descendants. I will spread animal waste over your faces and the waste from your festival sacrifices, and you will be taken away with it. Then you will know that I sent you this decree, so that my covenant with Levi may continue, says the Lord of armies. It called for reverence, and he revered me and stood in awe of my name. True instruction was in his mouth, and nothing wrong was found on his lips. He walked with me in peace and integrity and turned many from iniquity. For the lips of a priest should guard knowledge, and people should desire instruction from his mouth, because he is a messenger of the Lord of armies. I know, I've been gone for a minute, right? However, he gave me this warning today, and he told me to stop playing with him. So I got up this morning, and if you don't listen, there's this guy, Brother Ron. He has this Truth Unedited ministry, YouTube, Facebook. He's on all social media platforms. I encourage you to go and listen to what he's saying, because it's thought-provoking in how we should really know the Most High on a deeper level. So I was listening to his videos this morning, and I'm listening to him, and it started at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I get to work at like 7:40, and then for some odd reason, like I needed to look up covenants, right? And I Google, okay, covenants in the Bible, and I'm going through covenants because I wanted to know, like, how many times the Lord made covenants with people. And when he brought me to Malachi, and it was actually Malachi 5, and he said, dang, I didn't number these. He said, this decree so that you will, then you will know that I sent you this decree so that my covenant with Levi may continue, says the Lord of armies. It called for reverence, and he revered me and stood in awe of my name. True instruction was in his mouth, and nothing was found on his lips. He walked with me in peace and integrity and turned many from iniquity. So this covenant that he had with Levi gave Levi peace and integrity. So I'm like, oh, okay. So he's like, I've read this like at least 10 times today, right? So then when I started reading it again, and I started at the beginning, he's like, this is how I do it. I write it down, and then I start taking notes on the side. And I just wanted to do this because it's been so long since I've made a video, but he said, listen, do it for 21 days. So I'll be back for 21 days doing videos. Therefore, this decree, and a decree is an official order. And if you go to Deuteronomy 6:1-25, it talks about the decrees, the statutes, the laws, the commands. Like he's given this to us. So there is a certain way that we need to live in his sight. Now, listen, Yeshua didn't come to abolish the law or diminish anything that the prophets said. He is our key to salvation. He is the way, the truth, and the life, and everything in the Old Testament has talked about him. So please don't think that I'm saying that, we don't need Yeshua no more. But if you really want to have a more intimate walk with the Most High, I definitely encourage you to go back to the Old Testament so you can hear it from himself. 2, he says, if you don't listen and you don't take it to heart. So I'm like, I've heard that saying, take it to heart. He said, well, go look it up and see what it means. And to take it to heart is to be deeply affected by it. If you're not deeply affected by the way he wants you to honor his name, it's going to be some problems, especially if he called you, right? And Revelation 5:10 says, and you have made them a kingdom and priests to our God, and they shall reign on earth. We come from a royal priesthood. Anybody who is out here talking about the Most High, who is proclaiming Yeshua, we come from this royal priesthood. We need to be conducting ourselves accordingly. Let me talk about me because I don't know you. Well, I wasn't. I wasn't disciplined enough. I wasn't being faithful to his commands about telling everybody. And his thing for me has always been like, just tell people about our relationship. Tell people what I have done for you. I don't think that's a hard thing to do, right? Just, what has he done for you, Tanya? Well, let me get started. Okay. Then the Lord goes hard and he says, I will send a curse among you and I will curse your blessings. And then I'm like, hold up, you curse blessings? He said, I will strip you of everything. If you are out here misleading my people, if you are out here and making them fall deeper into sin and not helping them out. Lord, say less. Look, and then I literally got taken out in verse 3 when he said, look, I'm going to rebuke your descendants and I will spread animal waste over your faces. So he gonna smear me with the shiz that I try to bring to him. And then when I started looking up like animal waste, because you can Google animal waste, it said what animals can't digest. So what an animal can't break down will be on your face. So you'll be broken down. And then I got to thinking like, oh my gosh, how many times when you get beat up by life, you look the part. You look like you've been beaten up. Like, you look like shiz. You look like defecation. And he said, it's what can't be used or broken down will be on your face. What can't be used or broken down will be on your face. Have it how you want it. But he's saying, you will know that it's me. He says, the waste from your sacrifices, and you will be taken away with it. Then you will know that I sent you this decree. You don't think that he's going to give us over to our own desires? Especially if he's called us to come out and preach this great news of salvation, this great news of his love and his mercy and his compassion, because the way that they tell it, the way that I understood it was, oh, he's sitting up here and he don't want nothing to do with somebody down here. That's how I've always seen it, until he came himself and was like, listen, you gonna stop talking crazy about my son? And I'm going to show you who I am. And he has literally showed me for the last 20 years, time after time after time after time. But I had so much pride in me and so much hurt and so much pain that I'm like, I can't trust you. Listen, I'm about to be 46 in 5 months. He took me a long way. So I owe him to be obedient, to walk the way that he has commanded me to walk. And then he says, this decree, you will know that I sent you this decree so that my covenant with Levi may continue, says the Lord of armies. It called for reverence, and he revered me and stood in awe of my name. Do we even know how many names he has? Elohim, do we call him Elohim, the creator of everything? Do we call him Jehovah Tsaba, the warrior God, Lord of the angel armies? Do we call him, what is it, El Roi, the God who seeks, who sees? Abba, Father, the loving Father, Emmanuel, God with us, Adonai, the Lord, Jehovah Rapha, the Lord who heals. Do we know him like this? So when you know somebody by their name, like, and the character that comes along with it, I think for me, it would make me see somebody differently. Okay. He said, true instruction 6 was in his mouth and nothing wrong was found on his lips. He walked with me. And he said, he walked with me in peace and integrity and turned many from iniquity. So then he got me to saying, Tanya, what's on your lips? What is it that's coming out? Is it, oh, you did me bogus, you did me wrong? Because you know what? We as people will be the first ones to be like, oh, Lord, you did X, Y, and Z. And we'll forget about all the things that he's done for us and fold fast and be put in a drawer like, I don't want nothing to do with them. We're wrong. We are so wrong. So we can't look at him and be like, oh no, Lord, you bogus for doing, you know what I'm saying? I was here doing whatever. Oh, I was doing it halfway. We have to come to a spot where we're accountable for our actions. And then he says, 7, for the lips of a priest should guard knowledge. And that means, guard means to watch over in order to protect or control or protect against damage or harm. A priest should guard knowledge. Knowledge that comes from the Lord needs to be within us at all times. And we need to guard this like it is nobody's business. We need to protect it. We need to watch over this knowledge, because you can't be casting your pearls before swine. And people should desire instruction from his mouth, because he is a messenger from the Lord of armies, instead of leading people astray. Listen, I just want to encourage you, if you have fallen off, if you have walked away, if you haven't been obedient to him, come back, because at no time is it worth it to catch his wrath. And I'm just saying that because he loves us so much. And any parent that loves their kid, I'm going to check you each and every single time you're doing wrong. Even if I got to say it 1,000 times, and you're like, oh, I don't even want to hear her voice. And listen, I got 7 kids. They could tell you like, oh man, she tripping. But why was I tripping? Because this could have harmed you. This could have harmed you. Your soul is on the line. So if he's called you for something, get to it. Holla at him.